What's going on, y'all? It's your favorite businessman, CEO Rico, on the Urban CEO Network, where we are always creating executive opportunities. So, today I want to talk to y'all about a topic that I've been getting a lot of questions on, and a lot of people have been asking me, is Turo worth it going into 2025? So, that's the magic question, right? So, long story short, before we actually get into it, I want to make sure I remind y'all. Y'all already know I got the ebook and the Toro course. Hit the link below to get access to it, where I'm always going over different topics, taking you through everything from your profile to listing a car, all the way down to how to repair the cars, how to save money on the cars, and how to increase revenue. Now let's get back to the topic. So, is Toro actually worth it in 2025? Guys, I'm going to tell you like this. Yes. Now, the reason I'm going to say yes is simply because Toro is not going absolutely anywhere. Toro is one of those businesses that is basically a market interrupter. Basically just like Airbnb. When Airbnb hit the scene back in 2008 is when it started. It basically gave the hotel industry a run for their money. So Toro is doing the same thing when it comes to the car rental industry. Now, here's the thing. The biggest thing on where Toro is actually winning at is the fact of they're using peer-to-peer car sharing, which means you as an actual individual can come in and you can make money on the platform with basically it's a very low barrier to entry. Now, the only thing is on why it's brilliant on their side is because they're simply the app. They're just a platform where they are bringing the customer and you, the host, together, and then they take a portion. So for them, it's a win. For you, you got to make it into a win. That's the biggest caveat there, right? So as long as you know what you're doing, that's how you know that's actually worth it. Now, you can go on the internet and you can see a bunch of horror stories. And guys, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there's not going to be some hiccups in the road. I've had a brand new vehicle literally totaled on the second trip after I literally just went and purchased it. I literally had a individual attempting to steal my vehicle where they stopped responding to my text message and everything like that. But luckily, I had certain things in place to where it was a no-brainer on how I got my vehicle back. I was not worried. When I tell you, I was literally talking to my mom, my stepdad. My stepdad was asking me questions, and I'm like, I know where the car is at. It's literally right up the street. I'm not tripping. I'm going to let Toro do their thing, get it towed back to me, and charge the customer accordingly. Now, here's another thing, too. Let's talk about the market share as far as with Toro. Now, Toro has been gaining more market share since they've come out. Now, they've tripled their market share from 2% to 6% between 2019 and 2021. Now, I know what you're saying. CEO Rico, that is literally like 3-4 years ago. That's cool. But the reason why it's important is because that simple segment of time shows you that they have been increasing. Now, during COVID, they have actually, that's when they really started to ramp up. You remember during COVID when the rental car companies was having problems with their fleet. They couldn't get new vehicles in and things of that nature. Well, that's when Toro really like took off. So basically, by them taking off the way that they did, that brought more exposure to the company, which basically mean more exposure for the company, more money into host pockets. Now, with them increasing in exposure and bringing more business, that increases revenue for you. So the more people that know about Toro, the more money you're going to make as a host. Now, remember how I told you it's a low barrier to entry? That's all across the board. So you have to now be savvy and know exactly what to do, how to do it in order for you to make money. For instance, you need to know the peak times. What I mean by peak time is it's that time of the year where more people are renting more vehicles, right? So typically, especially within my area, that peak time comes between April to about August. Now that's towards the end of, almost like the end of the school year. People are starting to travel more. It starts to heat up, in my area, and people are moving around a lot more. Travelers are coming to my state, so that's when things really start to like pick up heavily, especially in the month of May. For some reason, in the month of May, I do crazy numbers in the month of May. I don't know why. Still can't figure it out, but of course, I'm not going to complain. So why would I, right? So understanding that, and then also understanding that between the months of October to December, that's when it starts to die down. But just because it dies down around that time does not mean your business has to take a drastic dip. As long as you know how to adapt to the market conditions and you know how to cater to your customers. For instance, my customers were typically the point A to point B type customers. Why? Because I understood the market that I was in. So with me having that type of understanding, and that's the individual that I'm targeting, my numbers did not take a drastic dip during the slow seasons. Now, of course, I had to learn this over time because my very first slow season, it really did hurt. And I just had to hurry up and learn how to pivot and adapt to it. So with that being said, you run back to the original question, is Turo worth it? That's why I said yes. Now let's also talk about the revenue and profitability of Turo. Now Turo, from the years of 2021 to 2022, Turo increased from 469 million to 746.6 million. And then in 2023, they went they went to $879.7 million. Now, Turo first reported that they had a profitable year in 2023 with a net income of 14.7 million. Now, trust me, guys, I understand where you're coming from. If you're asking, well, if they did $879 million in 2023, how did they only report a net income of 14.7 million? Now, guys, that's a whole nother conversation, because when we talk about things you can write off, talk about expenses, talk about payroll, talk about all these different things. And of course, it's simply a platform. So it's like, by you being a platform, how do you lose money as a platform, right? But like I said, that's a whole different conversation. But they turned a profit in 2023. So, of course, since turning a profit, of course, it's going to increase, is what you would think, right? Especially considering the fact that Turo has been gearing up to go public, which means they are planning to IPO on the stock market in order for them to be a publicly traded company. Now, that's no small thing, because in order for you to get people to invest in your company on the stock market, you have to actually be doing something good. You understand what I'm saying? So, guys, if you want to actually get into Turo, I would recommend that you watch my other Turo videos where I actually take you step by step on how to actually do the things that you actually want to do. Or you can actually just click the link below and actually get my ebook where I take you step by step on how to start doing Turo and become profitable. And especially if you want to create a six-figure business, you definitely want to get that six-figure blueprint using Turo. So, guys, let me know what you guys think about the content. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings about Turo going into 2025. And of course, make sure you like and subscribe. But once again, make sure you comment, because I really want to know your thoughts on the topic. So, see y'all soon.